Multiplying fractions again, but this time with a little method hack. Multiplying fractions, I'm sure you know the basic technique, is that you multiply the tops and the bottoms, and then if you can, simplify. For example, here's a half times 3/4, and this time we just multiply 1 times 3 to give us 3 on the top and 2 times 4 to give us 8 on the bottom. You can't simplify this. That's as far as it goes. Okay, so to make it harder, examiners give us mixed numbers, but normally allow for some simplification, so we're not multiplying very large numbers. Here's an example. Work out 1 3/4 times 1 1/3. So we need to make both of these into fractions. And we can do this by saying, well, look, 1, that's equal to 4/4. So if we come over here, we've got 4/4 plus the 3 from the 3/4, that's 7. So that's 7 divided by 4. Multiply now 1 1/3. This 1 is 3/3. So I get 3/3 from the 1 plus 1, and that gives me 4. So that's 4/3. And, oh, hello, that's 4 and that's 4. So I can simply cross these out by dividing by 4. And that gives me 1 and 1. Some people don't write 1s because they don't change anything. But anyway, I will. So now we've got 7 times 1 across the top and 1 times 3 across the bottom, 7/3. It's very hard to see if that's a reasonable answer, to be honest. It is quite difficult. 7 is obviously more than 3, so this is a mixed number. 3 goes into 7. Ooh, well, 2 times 3 is 6. So we get 2 wholes and 1/3. So how can we make it even harder? Well, we can use bigger and more complicated mixed numbers. So now we need a technique to go from mixed numbers into fractions. Let's have a look at a simple one again. 1 2/3. Now this 1 gives us 3/3, and we can draw that actually. There's your 3/3, and there's your 2/3 from the fraction. And we add all this up, there's 3 and there's 2, and we get 5/3. Hopefully that wouldn't be a problem. Something slightly harder, 2 1/3. Right, well this 2, each of these units, if you like, give us something like this. So we get 1 and we get 2 and then we get 1/3. So now we've got 3 and 3 and 1. 3 and 3 and 1 is 7/3. Perhaps you can see what happened here. We've got 2 and we're trying to get them into thirds. So we just multiply 2 times 3 and that gives us how many we've got as wholes. And then we just add the extra one because we've got 1/3. So does that work on something horrible like this? 10 2/5. Well, we know we're going to have fifths, but let's multiply 10 times 5 because each of these single units, if you like, gives us 5/5. So we're going to have 10 times 5/5, plus we've got 2 up here, plus 2, and that gives us 52/5. You'll never see anything that difficult, but it's nice to know that you can handle it if you ever see it. Right, it's time to show your skills. Remember the 2 skills, simplifying and working out very large mixed numbers into fractions. Here's a horrible one. Actually, is it that horrible? Because this is a show that. You are given the answer. So hopefully you can work it out. Right, let's see how you got on. 2 1/3. Right, well, that's 2 times 3 plus 1 equals 7. So that is equal to 7/3. And 3 3/4, we're looking for quarters. We've got 3 wholes, so we're looking at 3 times 4 plus 3 equals 15. 15 quarters. I don't fancy 7 times 15, to be quite honest with you, but I can see that this can be simplified. Not with 7 and 4, because that's horrible. 7 doesn't divide by anything, it's a prime. But 15 divides by 3. So I'm going to divide 15 by 3 to get 5 and 3 by 3 to get 1. Now I've got 7 times 5 and 1 times 4. Well, it's still not very nice, but 8 times 4 is 32. So 35 quarters is 8 3/4 left over. And there's your answer. That is a 3-marker late in the paper. 2 skills are required: converting these into fractions and simplifying, because this is a non-calculator question.